So, what should we save the planet today? I mean, I wrote this book called "Stop Saving the Planet," but maybe that was a little negative.
Yeah, I think that
Yeah.
consumers don't respond to negative messaging.
You always have to make them feel positive.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
maybe you.
Because climate change.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you should have named it "Please Save the Planet"
Please save the planet instead of
Stop
saving the planet. Yeah, it's a little bit late. Generally, you can't send it back to the
You
publisher.
can't. I mean, how many months?
It was April. I think it's
So a little less than a year. Yeah.
Maybe the next printing they could change it to. Please, will you please save the planet?
Will you please? It's not. It's
please
not
just keep doing everything you're doing to save the planet.
Not a radical
none
difference.
Of it is working.
Yeah, that's just a kind of a spin.
Mm-hmm.
We always are trying to optimize our products because as content creators, we're constantly creating products.
Well, this is why I hang out with you, because I need to know. I'm too old to understand any of that, and I need to, I need your perspective. But I thought today maybe we could talk a little bit about a really important way to save the planet is carbon offsets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What do you think about carbon offsets?
I mean, I definitely think the concept of carbon is real, and
offsets are real.
Offsets are, maybe real, and I don't necessarily trust or believe so-called scientists, but I think that we should definitely offset carbon. But I also do not know what that concept is.
Yeah, so, I don't really know. Yeah, it's very hard. So what I actually really love about carbon offsets as a strategy for this terrifying climate crisis is that it's such a puzzle. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Here we have this really, really high polluting oil plant.
Yeah.
It's communities communities in Southern California or Northern California or Cancer Alley in Louisiana. That place has become really famous lately. And how we're going to deal with that by reducing carbon emissions in Ecuador.
Mm-hmm.
That is fascinating, right?
Yeah.
So it's how do you do that, right? That's really interesting. So you got to figure out how you're going to do that in Ecuador. You could plant trees, okay?
Yeah.
So, and then you got to figure out when are those trees going to be big enough to start sequestering carbon, and is anybody going to come down, right? Or you can sequester carbon in forests in California, but we're burning down all the forests in California, and those people are still being paid to sequester. So it's this wonderful, really intriguing intellectual. It's really more like a math challenge that it's what I really love about it. It really. It's challenging to figure out. It's like doing it's like doing the Saturday crossword puzzle in the New York Times, only maybe a little bit harder.
Yeah. So what I took from that, what I gleaned, is that in order to save the planet and to offset carbon, if I'm saying that correctly, is to plant more trees.
Yeah, you got to plant more trees. Now, the only thing is we're going to need another planet or two for all the trees that the oil companies want to plant in order to offset.
Yeah.
So that's a small problem. We're still looking for that second planet so we can plant more trees and then we got to figure out how to get those offsets onto, because now we're not talking about Ecuador. Now we're talking about Mercury or Saturn or something. And so then you got to figure out, well, how do we get those climatic effects to transfer here? But it's totally doable. You just got to keep with the numbers.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine that.
And they can be certified too, because that's really, really important to have the offsets be certified. So for sure they're happening.
Yeah.
8,000 miles away or 2,000 miles away. That's really important. And nobody ever cheats or anything. So the certification is pretty reliable.
Yeah. I mean, I believe sort of in the concept of geographic dissonance. I think that this
I love that.
This concept of planting trees, I imagine it has something of a trickle down effect. So it's even if it's maybe not solving the immediate problem, I can only imagine that if you plant a tree, let's say in Ecuador, that is going to eventually solve the crisis in Louisiana.
Probably, but you have to be careful because, if you plant them too close to the coast, they're probably going to drown.
Yeah,
because
grow
climate change is actually getting worse while we're waiting for those trees to grow.
Yeah.
Or then, of course, someone might cut them down. But say someone doesn't cut them down, you got to make sure that they don't drown, because then they're not really sequestering carbon while climate change is getting worse.